another episode of Definitely Not Mechanics. Today, we're building motor mounts for the Rust Bucket. But first, we've got to make some templates for them. Actually, first, we got to put this together. Somebody snap.
All right, so we have our engine hoist.
I fucking hate this channel.
All right, so now that we have the engine hoist,
that's the last time you'll ever see one of those transitions on this channel. I hated that.
It was fun though. So now we got to make the transmission up with the motor, get it on this hoist, and then that way we can start fabbing up or by fab I mean with cardboard, and getting the motor mounts ready. So here we go. All right, so after some research, we found where the stock mounts go. There is basically a subframe brace on the bottom of the Rotary. You get Rotary guys are gonna be like, duh, we didn't know. So after some research, we found that. So we're gonna use our cardboard here and start building them out.
I'm working.
So we got it all meshed together.
Say meshed together?
Meshed together.
3 threads is good enough for me. That's why I live my life. 3 threads at a time.
You only live at 3 threads at a time because you've only got 3 inches to give.
Yeah. At least I'm laying the pole and not hitting them.
Gotta make $1 somehow.
So this bolt has been laying here the whole time, and I was like, what if we use the nut and put it on here? And he grabs in it, perfect thread pitch,
Well,
everything.
I don't know how I feel about that. Just the whole front assembly there. For timing and all that.
Do you want to use one of those washers?
Which one? Yeah. I feel like that's not long enough.
Oh, I'm so excited. Money.
Maybe.
You want to run? Do you have more chain? What about
Strap.
Yep. Let's do that. All right, we gotta find a ratchet strap, and I know where one is. Oh shit. All right. Money. Yes. Oh shit. I'll lower it down a little bit. Nice.
All right, Nick. So what's going on, man?
All right, so now this is rough. I'm just kind of eyeballing it at this point to get a general idea. So this is pretty much the bracing that's going to go across here. Now, if I move this, we have a bolt up here and a bolt down here, bolt up here, bolt down here, and then we have these 2 centralized bolts. So the 2 centralized bolts are going to go through this main piece here somewhere. I got to add, so I just imprinted on there. You can kind of see the circle. I push my finger into it so you can kind of see where the bolt is. So I can now add to the top of this, and I'm going to do the same thing on that side, but I just wanted to line this up. Now it's not perfect, and I'm going to origami myself around this.
Just kind of be careful.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna. take this down, see I have a bolt hole there, a bolt here, the two that are here, and then this one. This one didn't imprint very well, but at least this gives me an idea to kind of work off of. This is just a preliminary. This isn't going to be the final copy. I'm just trying to get an idea of roughly how this mount is going to go. So it's kind of tough with this lined up. We probably should have done the bottom mount first while we had the motor laying on the ground, not all rigged like this, because that's kind of dangerous. But this will give us an idea. Now, it's going to be a two-part here. So we got this figured out, but then we got to come over here and do this going across. So I think for trimming the fat on this, for the one that straps to the oil pan or that bolts to the oil pan, that'll probably last, but at least we can get the dimensions down here. This is going to be a two-part process. I don't think we're going to have this done on this episode. It's a rough idea. I gotta press this one in again, but gives us a certain idea. Then I'm basically gonna come back over here on this one. That's a little bit more flatter, and essentially redo it all on one solid piece. That way it's not. It's gonna take a couple times of doing this to get it figured out. But like I said, we're definitely gonna have more episodes of us just trying to fab this up. I thought we can just knock it out in one day, but that's clearly.
I feel the engine mounts we'd probably be all right with, but as far as going any further.
Yeah. All right, let's keep going. So I went underneath. There's the transmission. You can see the ratchet strap and everything. So I went underneath and get this position right here. Where the shift hole, the shifter is going to be coming at 7 inches back from this hole right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut to 10 inches. And basically cut all this out. We're going to keep the same diameter of this hole, but just go all the way back. What I'm going to do first is I got to remove the e-brake and all this assembly here and get it out of the way so we can cut that up. And we're just going to use a Sawzall, cut it open. We're not going to be reusing any of this. Not even this e-brake. We'll probably do a drift brake anyway. So, yeah. So I got to cut that out. All right. You ready to slice and dice?
As long as I don't hit my transmission.
So I say about to 10 inches. Right into that bolt hole. Yeah. Dead on 8 inches is where the transmission is. It's about 11 inches back. That's how far it's gone. There you go. How did Zach lose his arm?
Yeah, no shit.
That should be enough to go across now. All right, so now you can see where the shifter's gonna be. We're gonna need it. What you doing?
I am cutting this motor mount off. Old one. So I can mount the turbo on.
Sweet. So you tried lining it up and the turbo was knocking in the way?
Yeah, this is in the way.
All right. So our hopes and dreams of using the factory mount is out the door because the turbo hits it. So we have to build custom mounts. We're going to build it off of this plate right here in order for it to fit. So I kind of drew up a rough design, and I'm fabricating it out of my cardboard here. So I did a rough design of how it's going to be. We're going to use 1/4-inch steel to build these motor mounts, and I'm drawing it or building it here, so you can kind of see my sketches and then what I'm building right here. So it's going to be about 3 inches. Now I can always make it a little bit longer. I was thinking, now looking at it and visualizing it, I may need to go to like 3.5 inch from the base. This piece is going to get welded up to the frame, and then we'll make a kind of be a drop down plate, like a subframe that will go then across over and then back up to the other side of the motor mount. Show you where this is going to go. Excuse me. So I mentioned earlier we have this plate right here. So I'm still work design stage, so it'll look kind of like that. He's chopping this off, and then from here, put that down. It's going to go down, bolt to those 4 bolts underneath, and then go all the way across, and then back up to the other side. Now the other side's going to be a little bit tricky. I'm going to have to do some, maybe like a drop down, because we have the factory steering whatever, and then steering rack. Thank you. Can't think right now. So I have to make a little bit different of a design here. This may have to be a drop down and come a little bit lower. So from here down and then over through the subframe. But all in all, it's shaping up pretty good. Oh, yeah. And we have our thumbnail. Ooh, that's tight.
Motherfucking glove. So we just lined up the engine and transmission, dropped it off of the engine hoist. From front of engine to front of engine on either side from frame rail is what, 8.5?
8.5 inches. So from this side of the motor to this side of the motor, 8.5 inches. So the rest of it is all pretty much lined up.
And we have it set about right where we want it, as far back and as not as high, probably a little higher, just barely. But right now it's just mocked up pretty damn good. As you can see, we barely have room for the turbo.
Luckily it's a solid mount, so we don't have to worry about too much play, the turbo banging around in there.
If anything, we'll just mock something else up.
On the inside, and then I also have a jack stand with a 4x4, but I wanted to line this up, so we cut the hole out earlier, and so this is about 11 inches back from the stock hole, so you can see where the new shifter is. So that brought us back about 6-7 inches back, so it's going to be a lot more of a comfortable position for shifting.
Yeah, because with the factory 5-speed from the 4-cylinder Toyota 4-cylinder that was in here, I was sitting the way I sit, being 5'11", I have to sit back pretty far in this truck because it's so small. I was almost full extension of the arm just to shift, and that kind of gets annoying, especially when you're trying to hit a corner, and yeah, it's not where it needs to be. So as of right now, this is where we're mocking everything up. Yeah, I think that'll be it for the day, honestly.
Yep.
Finally.
Finally.
This time.
Yeah, this time. We were gonna end earlier, and then we just for some reason. Oh,
What?
I just kicked the jack stand.
Don't do that.
Don't kick that. So we were gonna end the video earlier, but then me and him both kept working. So we're like, oh, let's just keep recording. So he grounded off the factory mounts, everything. So where we're at, we're just gonna end the episode there. Facebook.com/definitely not mechanics. Click on the shop. We have shirts, koozies, his panties, stickers, all kinds of stuff. So go check that out. Help support our build and get this going.
And during all this time, feet pictures too, if you really want them.
Yep. He'll do Polaroids of feet pictures and put them in with the shirts that he ships out. So thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good one.